Hello everyone, this is what we're going to do today. So let's take a look. So rotating, coming in, and wireframing and text animation. Again, coming in, color, rotate, wireframe, and text animation. Okay, so please subscribe and then set the notification for my channel and let's get started. Okay, so this is the impossible shape you are going to animate. If you have missed my previous video, how to make this type of impossible shape in Illustrator, I will make a link on top of my screen and then also in my description as well. Okay, so this is the square one. And then we're going to, once you have this shape in Illustrator, we're going to save as three different file format. The first one is save as SVG file, scalable vector graphics. And the second one, export for web as a ping24, and check this transparency box. So as a PNG file. And the last one is select everything, then set the fill color white and then stroke color as black, and also save this file, export, save for web as a ping24 again. So we have three files. Okay, so once you have that in your folder, then let's go to Animate CC and we're gonna create a new file, 600 pixel by 600 pixel and 24 frame rate and HTML5 canvas, and I'm going to upload it on my Instagram. Okay, so create it. Let me pull this up and double click the hand tool so I can make this screen fit to window. Then now let me import those three files into my library: square line, square PNG, and square SVG. Make sure you check the first radio button, import all path into the same layer and frame. Okay. Now let me check my library. So I have three files: SVG, PNG, and this line PNG. So first, select here your square.svg file and drag it to your stage. Then let me open Align panel. If you do not see this, it is under Windows menu and Align, and check the Align to Stage checkbox. Align horizontal center and the vertical center. Okay, then as you can see that it's kind of a little bit confusing shape, but there are two different shapes. So we're going to separate it. So select this image and then go to Modify menu and break apart. And break apart again. So we have two. And break apart as a vector. So I can select this and this separately. So first one, this left one, I'm going to fill it in as a kind of a little darker gray, and this top one, the right one, really light gray. So like this. Now select the top one, I mean the light gray one, and then go to Edit menu and cut, Command X. So it's gone. Make a new layer on top, then edit, paste in place, and it will paste it into the space where you made a copy. Okay, so let me rename this as a lefty, and this one as a righty. Okay, then we're going to create a kind of 1 second animation first. So select 1 second, so frame number 24 on top layer, and then I'll hold down the shift key. So you select 2 frames on both layers and just insert the keyframe. by clicking this button. And now highlight the two layers at the same time by holding down the Shift key and click, and hold down the Control key and click somewhere in the middle, or right click and choose Create Classic Twin. Okay, so nothing's happening yet. So now what I'm going to do is my left one, let me select the left one. On frame number 1, make sure your playhead it is placed on the located on the frame number 1. Move it to left, and this one move it to the right, like this, even further. Okay, and now select the first one again. Open transform panel. If you do not see this, it is under Windows menu and transform. Okay, I'm gonna make it 20% smaller and rotate it 180 degree. I'm gonna move it to here. Now righty one, I will do the same thing. Open transform panel, 20% smaller, and rotate it 180 degree and place it on the edge on the right. So this is happening like this. Okay, but I want to start from the nothing. So select both on frame number 1. Make sure your playhead is still on frame number 1 and select both like this. Open the properties panel. In the color effects drop down menu, I'm going to choose the alpha and set to 0. So it is playing like this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is excuse me, let me select both layers, and then in your properties panel you're going to see that ease effect and then ease option. I'm going to set to -100, and you can see the difference getting faster. Okay, so this is done. Now it's time to convert this into the color version. So let me create a new layer on top. I'm gonna name it as a color, and then on frame number 24, 1 second mark, insert a keyframe, which is gonna be blank keyframe now, and then open the library panel. Now choose square PNG file, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and let me place it, overlap it right on top of it. Yep, it looks good. Just like this. Okay, so the plan is the gray one will be fading out in the bottom, and then this color one will be fading in. So highlight the frames, all frames on the 2 second mark on top layer, and hold down the Shift key and click on the bottom layers, frame number 48, which is 2 second mark, and insert the keyframe. Okay, now hide the top layer. Then make sure your playhead is on 2 second mark. Select both image on your stage. Now open the properties panel and change the color effect, the alpha value down to 0. So your grayscale square is fading out. Okay, now make visible your top layer, and then select any frame in between. Hold down the Control key or right click and click here and choose the Create Classic Twin. On 1 second mark where the color one begins, and click on your green square on your stage. Now in the Properties panel, Color Effect, and choose the alpha, set to 0. So while the grayscale is fading out, this color one will be fading in, like this. Let me play again. Okay, so it's not too bad. Now, from here, I want to rotate this square and make it a little bit smaller and move it up slightly. So on frame number 60, highlight it and then insert the keyframe. Select any frame in between. Hold down the Control or right click and choose Create Classic Twin. Now, on frame number 60 here, select your image, open, choose the Free Transform tool, rotate it once, just like this, and make it a little bit smaller and move it up. And select the first keyframe. I'm going to apply this minus 100, easy option. So this is happening, watch this. Okay. Next step is, once I have this, I want to convert this into the wireframe one, the line one. Okay, so let me insert another keyframe on 80. Okay, then select any frame in between, hold down the Control and click and create Classic Twin. I'm not going to change it at this point. Okay, now place your playhead on frame number 60. Now I'm going to insert a new layer and I will name it as a line. Then on frame number 60, this kind of diamond shape, the rotated one. On frame number 60 on this new layer, let me insert a new keyframe and then place your square line.png file. Okay, and with this free transform tool, let me rotate it and make it smaller. I'm gonna make it kind of okay, just like this. Okay, and then highlight the frame number 80 on this top layer, insert another keyframe, then select anywhere in between, hold down the Control, click, and create Classic Twin. So like we did before, this bottom one, this color blue one, will be fading out, and at the same time this wireframe will be fading in. Okay, so let me hide this top line layer and this bottom one on frame number 80. Let me select it, open the properties panel, color effect, and the alpha. So it is fading out, but at the same time I'm gonna make this one, let me make this top layer visible and select your wireframe one on frame number 60 and choose the alpha starting from 0 to nothing. See? So it is kind of overlapping. Just like this. So far this is what we have. Okay, now next thing is I want to have my text. So let me create a new layer. This layer will be named as a text layer. We don't have to. Okay, so let me create a new layer and on frame number 80, insert a keyframe. I'm gonna type the word illusion somewhere here. So this font I downloaded from the thefont.com as I showed you last time, which is not in here. So I'll go to thefont.com And in the search window, just to type illusion. Search. And this is the one I downloaded. So download it and install. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, I'm going to animate this, the individual letter separately. So ILLUSION. So select it, go to modify menu and break apart first. And then we're going to assign individual layer per letter. So under modify menu, timeline and distribute to layers. Okay. Then now, before we animate it, break apart again as a graphic, because this is not a text anymore. Because if your user doesn't have the this typeface that we downloaded on their computer, will be replaced by default font, like a Courier, Times New Roman, something like that. Okay, now we're going to animate this individual letter. So on this text layer from I to N, let me highlight the frame number 90 and of the bottom letter, and hold down the shift key and click on the frame number 90 on top letter and insert the keyframe. Okay, now this bottom layer is selected of this my text layer, and hold down the shift and select all the letter layers. Okay, let me pull this way. Then place your mouse cursor somewhere in between 80s and 90s, any layer is fine, and hold down the control, click, and create classic twin. Okay, don't worry about the missing shapes, that's fine. Okay, now select, place your playhead on frame number 80, select all letters, just the letters only. Okay, and then move this down to out of stage like this. Okay, on frame number 80, and now open transform panel. I'm gonna make it 500% larger like this. Ooh. Let me move it down even further. Okay, then in the properties panel, all 5 letters selected on frame number 80 now, and change the color effect alpha value down to 0. So it is fading in and getting smaller like this. Okay, now select all first keyframe again. I'm gonna change this, the ease option, this time to 100. So see what happens. From the very beginning, okay? And then I want to give some kind of little different timeline. So select I comes first, which is okay. And the next letter will be coming in 5 frames after. And the next letter, select the whole layer, move it 5 more frames to the right. Same routine. Okay. Then the last letter. See? It's like the domino game, like a chain reaction. Only thing left is we just need to keep all letters and the line square. So 125, that's the last keyframe for now. So highlight the 125 on the second layer and hold down the shift key. Highlight the 125 frame on line layer. That's all we need. And insert the keyframe. Okay, so let me play it. Okay, so let me test it under control menu and test the movie in browser. Yep, it works, but it keeps it's kind of looping, and it doesn't have enough time to read it. So I want to make it stay about 2 or 3 seconds. So we are on almost a 5 seconds. So let me highlight 8-second mark. So we'll have about 3 seconds more, and on the line layer, highlight it and insert keyframe. So once the whole animation is done, then it will stay about 3 seconds and will be back to the very beginning. So let me try again. Command return, test the movie. Rotating, fading in, la wireframe, and the text animation 1, 2, 3, and go to the beginning. Okay. Yep. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this, and then maybe next time I will bring something more interesting. And see you next time.